Oh, that was both ominous and very intriguing. Oh, fantastic.
Straight to the point, actually.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
How like this win will be for the Colts.
I'll you know what? You can kick this off,
So
Cody.
we co-hosted last time. Whenever you want to do that same thing.
Oh yeah. No, we can absolutely do the same thing. I can lead us
Right.
in. I'll be more than happy
Yeah.
to lead us in. Welcome to the official Horseshoe Mob takeover of Jaguars. And I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Or Jaguars fan battle. No, this is a very special fan battle episode for everybody who got a chance to see us last time or who may not have. This is the Horseshoe Mob versus Jaguars fan battle for the second and most pivotal matchup of the season. But before we get into all that, let's just introduce everybody here. You know, we'll introduce the Horseshoe Mob and then the Brave Jags fans that, you know, dare come on here and tell us why they believe they were going to win the next 7 Super Bowls, according to Ammo. But but you know what? Just so that we can get us started. You know what? You go ahead and you introduce your guys. You introduce your guys, Cody, because you know it's y'all.
What's up, everybody? I'm Cody Cole Gaming, host of the Jaguars fan battle. I'm here with Ammo Jags. Say what's up, man.
What's up? What's up? And like Chris said, the Jaguars are winning the next 7 Super Bowls. So
Okay, and on that note, yeah, no,
he
no,
stood
no,
on
no,
it.
no.
He stood on it. That's crazy.
He really did. He really did.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like it's some of that Tennessee tea he's been drinking.
I thought he was joking, but wow. Okay.
Well, the way
I'm
he
with it.
said
I'm
it,
with it.
the way he said it, the confidence level. Well, you know, we're winning the next 7.
This is what I think about ammo prediction.
all right.
But yeah, so with that being said, guys, like I said, to introduce the Horseshoe Mob, we have with us, just in no particular order, we have with us Austin Cook.
Yep. What's up? I'm Austin.
We have with us Josue Senior.
That's good.
We have with us Harish, who is wearing very non-typical Colts gear, I guess.
Oh, I am the Indianapolis Longhorns tonight.
Whatever the fuck that means. And I'm Chris Jackson. And you know, and let's just get into it, right? So just to kind of premise this, like I said, we did this last time before the last game. I think Ammo, you thought that the Jags were going to win by about 50, correct?
No, I was not the one that said 50.
I did.
That was Cody.
Cody said 50.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cody.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, it was
Yes.
close. Ooh.
Yeah, right.
I mean, for about 3.5 quarters, it was pretty
Oh, it was very close until Jamal Agnew took the ball way further than he needed to. So let's just we can just get that one out the way right now.
yeah.
That's interesting.
But
Yeah, he definitely put a fire back into the offense that, you know, it definitely wasn't there. It was crazy because that win didn't feel like a win to most Jags fans, even though it was 30-something points on the board. I can't remember the exact score. So, yeah, I think if the offense would have been clicking like they should have been, considering, you know, the offseason coming into that game, you know, they spend time together, practice together, had the preseason together and all that stuff. But it's just like, you know, so, yeah, even though we came out of there with a dub, I felt like we left some points.
Are they clicking right now?
Against the Bills, yeah, I would say for the most part. Other than the there was like so there was like what was it? The strip fumble. There was 2 of them from T-Law.
Mhm.
And so they got, you know, the Bills got a bunch of points in garbage time, whatever, in the fourth quarter, and made the game look a lot closer than it was. Like if y'all didn't watch the game, you would think that it was, you know, it was not like that.
I typically don't wake up for London games.
Oh yeah, I mean I can understand that. You know,
Yeah.
If you're not a fan of either team or whatever, you know what's the point? But yeah, people need to watch that game before they judge, because that scoreboard does not reflect how that game actually went.
Yeah, the Jags dominated that game from start to finish, and box score won't show that.
Yeah. But I mean, going according to that in particular, right? Because let's just say, not even using the Bills game, but just using what you've seen in the last 5 weeks leading up to now, Because, like I said, it's just like we're both 3-2 teams, and I think it's just like we've both had times where it's just like there was a lot of plays that we wish we could have gotten back. Do you really feel like you see do you really feel like the team has gradually gotten better, or have you seen just more of like the ups and downs more so?
So yeah, I feel like the team has gradually gotten better. There was holding Patrick Mahomes down to 17 points. The awful Texans game, it was just like a comedy of errors, and they can't describe it. It's like it was just strange to watch, and I was there live, and I was getting baked by the sun. I felt like I was getting tortured twice, like I was burning in hell, and then having to watch a sorry Jags team like at the same time, So I was like, what did I do to deserve this? So I had to do some soul searching afterwards. I got kind of quiet. But then
that seems like the entire fan base this season. It's like up and down, right? Like the Jags do great. It's like, oh man, this is the Super Bowl team we've been waiting for that we've never had. And then you get the Texans game. It's like, here we go. This is my entire existence as a human being.
There's a reason for that. It's because the Jaguars have been so bad for so long. They don't know how to deal with being successful. Every little tiny hiccup, every little bump in the road, they are going to revert back to the past 10 to 15 years of sucking, and they're going to just think that that's where we're headed. So every little thing that doesn't go our way, it's end of the world because we don't know how to act. We haven't been good in a very long time.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. The fan base, yeah. But then going to the Falcons game, you saw some flashes and spurts, and again we walked away with a dub, but didn't feel like 100% confident in what the offense was doing and stuff like that. And then the Bills game, it was there for the most part. There's still some Jags fans that believe we're not, fully to what their potential could be, but I saw it and I got excited again. So that's where I'm at now, and that's the Jags team that y'all are getting. So good luck.
So you hope.
I have no issue with that because I mean honestly, it's just like you guys are hitting your stride. I feel like this team, the Colts offensively, are kind of hitting that stride as well because you're seeing more of the run game that was talked about early on when Shane Steichen came in. And the one thing that I think was missing in that week 1 game was a serious rushing attack, especially when Deion Jackson accounted for 1 yard per carry and 2 fumbles. Yeah. It's just like, I mean, these are things that were also very, very game changing because of the fact that other than that, I think the only turnover was the Tyson Campbell pick. Yeah. And even for the game to come down to what? It was 31-20 to turn over the ball 3 times like that. And the game still came down to, I'm going to say those last 2 drives. It was like, okay, but offensively, it's much different now. If somebody wants to go ahead and jump in and say otherwise, like I said, the offense now is just, I'm going to say it's more run oriented. It's moving a lot smoother. So I don't see having the same errors that you had in week 1 in this game in particular.
I just want to point out what Danica said real quick. The past Jags team would have found a way to lose that Bills game.
We hear that every year.
Yeah, that's
we
100%.
hear that, but this is the thing. We hear that from you guys every season, right?
Well, it's true. It's true, dude.
At what point, right?
At what point? I'll say midway last season.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this Jags team is underperforming. Just if you base it, obviously the right way to say that. But I mean, you look at the games that they play. I still don't think Trevor Lawrence is performing at a high level. I think he has moments. I think you see moments of greatness. I feel like Trevor Lawrence should be performing at a level that is for what he was drafted to be, the weapons that he has. I mean, he's what? 1,258 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 picks.
So people that are box score scouting are the ones that are saying Trevor's not playing well. The ones that are actually turning on the tape and watching him, if you go on Twitter, you look at all these film analysts, they're in love with what Trevor's doing so far. The offense has underperformed. I 100% agree. The defense is playing better than I thought it would, but offense specifically with the weapons they have, like you said, they have underperformed. but it's not Trevor. You have multiple drop touchdown passes. That's why his touchdown numbers aren't up. Then you have Tank and ETN ripping off runs for touchdowns. You have really stupid interceptions like Tank volleyball swatting that to the Colts in week 1. So there's a lot of things.
That's a great play.
That
was awesome.
Don't show up in the box score that you can see on film and see, okay, that's not Trevor. That's the pressure. That's this. I don't put a lot of that on Trevor. Sure. Can he play better? Absolutely. Anybody can for the most part. But it's looking at his stats that get people in trouble saying that Trevor's not playing very well. Because when you throw on that tape, Trevor is making all the right throws for the most part. He's hitting them with very good accuracy. He just has one of the highest drop rates in the league with his wide receivers. That doesn't help, and it doesn't help that a lot of those were touchdowns.
No, again, that's and I did come from an aspect of box score watching because I've only seen one Jaguars game.
Yeah.
So that is box score watching. I feel like from what has been tutored to me from this fan base and the results that I'm seeing, right? I'm being results oriented because that's what people would do to us because that's how these rivalries work. I don't think the results are indicative of what we were sold by the fan base all off season.
So what would you have expected from the Jaguars so far?
I think this is
outside of the Texans game. What can you really say?
I can't say anything. I'm scoreboard watching.
I mean,
I also think the defense is underperformed, right? I mean, what are they? I mean,
they are playing way better than anybody thought they were going to be.
Well, I mean, but then again, it's just like.
What did anybody think they would like? Were you guys thinking this is going to be one of the
everybody thought that the Jaguars had a bad. They definitely thought it was like bottom half of the league for sure, and it's playing as a top 10 unit right now.
Okay.
Well, I think the one reason why everybody kind of thought like the Jags defense wasn't going to be that good is because Jags fans really just kind of bagged on the defense, around like that draft offseason free agency time.
That's
I'm gonna say, yeah, like the thing is for me, anything that I go according to, because I will see like acquisitions, just how they do, like just like who did you sign, who was drafted, and I mean even in the draft, it's just like Jags fans, they didn't like the fact that the defense wasn't addressed enough. Because they're like, hey, it looks like Trevor's going to have to go out there and do everything that he needs to do, with that. And I mean, I don't know if y'all feel this way, but this is also Jags fans talking about they're just like Trayvon Walker so far is just like it's looking like they should have drafted Hutchinson. Now, I don't know if you guys feel the exact same way, but I mean, that's also, I'm going to say, where the mindset is currently. Emma, why the face? Why the face, Emma?
He agrees.
This is why you don't draft players based on the underwear Olympics. I like Walker, and I think he can develop into something. But when you go to the underwear Olympics and you find the biggest, fastest dude and say, I'm picking him number 1 and ignoring film, that's how you end up with Trayvon Walker at number 1.
Yeah, because, I mean, Hutchinson now is like, I mean, it's just like he's a little bit blocky at times. But, I mean, the guy was just out there just like wreaking havoc. And it's like, I know like Walker, he has the tools because he's athletic, but at the same time, it's like fundamentally, I just don't see it. Fundamentally, he's a cactus. Like that's just what it is. But I mean, like I said, athletically, he's a freak. Like he can make all those plays, but it's just getting him to make those plays seems to be like what the issue is.
Well, I think, even with athleticism, right? And I get drafting of potential. We literally just did it, right? Well, with our quarterback, and it's still yet to be seen. But Walker, now in his 3rd year, has been in the system for 2 years.
Second year. Yeah, second year, yeah.
Right. So you would think at this point that it's only his 2nd year, right?
Yes, the second year.
I think the jury's still out, but again, he's been in the same system for 2 years. You would think the results would start to yield in a positive outlook, and I just don't think the Jaguars fan base is seeing what they expect to see.
I would, if I had to make a comparison for him, it would be Clowney.
Oh,
Athletic freak,
that's not
big
good.
dude, no pass rush production, but is a very good run defender, and that's exactly what Walker is.
Oh no, that's the.
But Clowney started figuring out some pass rush stuff by like year 3 or 4, so maybe he'll develop into that. But that's never what he was. He's just, and I really think that what they need to do is they need to go and trade for Danielle Hunter from the Vikings. So you can actually have that real outside edge guy, so you can slide Walker inside where he played most of his snaps at Georgia, where he was, drafted from, where he was playing better. He needs to play more interior. He's not there yet as an edge player.
So here's a fun stat. Listening to Jags fans, most of us, whatever, and y'all, you would think that Aiden Hutchinson has way more sacks than Trayvon Walker, but he's only, the last time I checked, this is, I think, a week ago, he only had 1.5 sack more than Trayvon Walker. So what are we really talking about?
I think they're probably talking about the pressure rate and the pass.
Yeah, the pressure rate.
Yeah.
This is
which
so
is
good,
way
dude.
more.
It's so important to get the pressure.
I mean, it is important to get pressure, isn't it?
I mean, that is entire. That's how you win games.
Yeah, that's literally the point. Like,
And that's why we have Josh
Allen.
Allen on the other side. That's a sack leader in the NFL. I mean, besides the TJ Watt game or whatever. So
you'd rather have
he's at like
Walker?
number 2 now.
Well, hold on. Let's run this back. So now you're telling me you'd rather have Walker over Hutchinson because the sacks at the end of the day pretty much the same.
I'm saying
the pressure rate doesn't, like, honestly, if I were
I'm saying we're in a run first league. There's Henry here. Y'all are getting JT back. Trayvon can stuff Henry where Hutch isn't. Hutch is a Yannick, can't stop the run. So
but
yeah,
it's not
it doesn't huh?
It's not a run first league. We're in a run first division.
Division, that's what I meant.
But it's not a run first
yeah.
league.
I was about to say it's just like
Yeah, division.
I must be
where
watching
the
a different
division matters.
It does matter,
Right.
but at the end of the day, you're not winning the Super Bowls by beating the division.
I have some numbers here. Aiden Hutchinson is leading the league in pressures.
Oh, well, there you
with
go.
35.
Probably a lot, which is a lot more than Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, I'm seeing Josh Allen with 18, and I have not found Trayvon Walker yet. So
I'll keep
we're
you
just gonna. Yeah, we're gonna just once I got through the top 50, I stopped scrolling. So
Were there any Colts?
As far no,
I
there's not.
wasn't looking.
No.
If we're talking about underperforming, just since we're on the topic, I think the defense started off really well for the Colts. I think it's kind of leveled off, and I think at this point, I think our defense is underperforming as well. I think last week, was it last week? Or maybe the Rams game, probably the game that hurt them the most. I think it took them a long time to adjust to what the Rams were doing. So I'd be very interested. I think the really interesting piece of this game is going to be our front seven, because we know our secondary is terrible. Our front seven versus.
Well, we don't have Baker out there no more getting cooked by it, really, so we good with that.
Well, we don't have who? Oh, Baker.
Baker, yeah.
Baker.
Yeah. And they don't have Zay Jones. So I'm not saying that, I'm not wishing injuries on. Zay Jones was big that we won.
Is Calvin Ridley playing?
Yeah.
We're in trouble. Like we've got to be able to pressure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
Well, the secondary, I'm gonna say
So y'all
there's any
change y'all's mind because the offseason that was like this is like
No.
I didn't change it. Not me. Not me.
No, we always knew the secondary was the weakest part of the.
No, talking about the Calvin Ridley thing.
About
I said so. Personally, I said I need to see him perform as like the certified number one, and I think ever since week one, like he had week one, then weeks 2, 3, and 4, and then week 5, where it's just like those, like the first game and the 5th game were the weeks where he popped off, and then he was kind of like trailed off second, like weeks 2, 3, and 4.
He's got 22.
So, I mean,
22
he's not getting that 1,400 he predicted though. He's not getting that 1,400 he predicted at the beginning of the year.
I think he's on track to be over 1,000. I don't know if he gets.
Oh no, absolutely. I think he'll be well over 1,000. But I think because the one thing we heard about Calvin Ridley was that he has potential. But we're just like, dude's 28, about to be 29 in December. Like, it's just like all that potential stuff sounds good if you're like 23, 24. But I mean, he is a slightly older player. Now, granted, he really hasn't played in the last 2 years. But that's the reason why I said I wasn't going to say, oh, yeah, well, Calvin Ridley's just the best wide receiver in the division, because I'm like, he has to go out there and prove that he's the best wide receiver in the division.
Who is the best wide receiver in the division? I don't know a better wide receiver.
Well, according to Shane, is Trey Burks.
Man, Trey Burks is –
Yo,
listen,
Josh.
I'm sorry.
Put him on mute. Put him on mute.
Yep. 15-minute mute for you, sir. Leave me alone, bro. Like, leave me alone, bro. Like, but I do believe that it's just like I said, if Calvin Ridley can like remain consistent, I think he has the possibility to be able to. But I'm just not going to hand that to him, because he has to prove that he can absolutely be the certified number one over the entire season and deliver in that way. So, I mean,
I think that's more than likely to kill it next year than he is this year. I think next year Calvin Ridley is going to be unreal, and I think it's because he's going to have his feet under his whatever you would call it. And there isn't really – he is the best wide receiver in the division, because there's not a better one than him. And that's not saying a lot, because there's not a lot of good wide receivers in the division to begin with.
Our receiver one is good too.
We don't. Yeah, well, he's so good we don't even know who he is.
We're not doing this, Harish. We're not doing this nonsense. But on to the actual game, right? So the thing is, now it's just like we have a sampling of 5 weeks, so we have a chance to see exactly where the Jags are currently and where the Colts are currently. So I want to ask, and like I said, this is for both of the fan bases, what are the things that need to be attacked on both sides of the ball in order for your respective team to be successful? And I'll start. We'll go count. Well, I don't know if you guys are viewed the same way I am, but we'll start over with Cody, then we'll go to Harish, Ammo, Josh, and then Austin can finish off on that one.
Y'all's shoddy secondary. I mean, just like we did in the first game. I mean, that's easy money, especially with the weapons that we have, and the way that Trevor Lawrence was slanging that thing against the Bills. Pause.
He's just freak nasty.
Anyway, man, our offensive line, we lost a key piece. So y'all's defensive line, if y'all did that type of work that first game, yeah, it's gonna be a long day. So it's gonna be an interesting one for sure. I could tell that y'all didn't watch the Bills game, because I watched y'all score predictions and each one of y'all picked the Colts, and I know that y'all are not all homers like that. So I knew that there was something going on there. And
I did watch the Bills game.
Yeah,
I wasn't impressed by the Jags.
Eventually,
that's the first thing you said all night, dude. Shut your quiet ass up. Go back to sleep.
Hey, get off Austin, man. Get off my boy Austin.
You don't want to mess with Austin. We call him the silent assassin for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. I see why. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to get.
That hurt my feelings.
Watch him in the
That's
group,
exactly
man.
what it was.
All right.
Oh, you
yeah,
in that
man.
chat? You are in that chat, right? The chat that with the page in, right? The podcast page in. But
Yeah.
Austin be cooking their ass in there. They get mad and be personal with them. So yeah.
Yeah, just like I did. I can see why now. Okay. Okay.
All right. So then
You want to play rough?
You want to play rough? Okay. All right. What about you? What about you, Harish?
Yeah, I think it's the running game for the Colts. We don't have Fumble Deion Jackson out there next week. I'm very curious of two things, right? First off, the obvious thing: how often do we use Jonathan Taylor and to what degree? And then how Zach Moss continues to play against yet another really good run defense. Because the Jaguars only allow 81.6 yards per play. per game right now. So I think the run game for us is going to be key, especially without Richardson. If we can run the ball well, like we did last week, I think we could probably close this game out, because I think that's what was missing the first game, is our inability to run the ball. If you run the ball well, we'd probably win that game. So very, very curious to see. And then got to limit the turnovers. We cannot afford to turn the ball over in this game. So we got to protect the ball. So I think those are the two things for the Colts.
Okay. What about you, Emma?
For the Jags to win, they need to keep throwing downfield. That's it. Attack that secondary, just like Cody said. That's their bread and butter. That's how they win the game. Colts have a much better front seven than they do a secondary. It's not going to be an ETN game.
Okay. All right. What about you, Josh?
Well, it seems like, Ammo and Cody think that it's the same secondary that they're going to face week one. Week one, it was kind of inexperienced, brand new, young secondary, but they didn't watch Juju Brents. They didn't watch now Kenny Moore getting settled in. Yeah, you can say that.
Kenny Moore, the guy who's been there for years, had to get settled in.
Yeah, but it's new defense. He didn't last year. He played bad, and it's his first year in the defense. Just like you guys having, Walker in the defense, he just not trying to shine in the second year. So it takes his time. But I mean, you guys are gonna try to do the same thing. Y'all gonna attack our secondary and make mistakes. And we got a linebacker that can cover Ingram. So you without Zay Jones, who pretty much killed us as well. When Christian Kirk didn't kill us that game. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we defend him and Ingram. You can't stop Kevin Ridley. And we know you got one running back. Tank is a fumbling machine against us, so we can stop ETN. He didn't have a big game against us, but we can contain him. And on offense, like the other guy said, we got to run the ball. Last time you face a sorry Duke running back and Deion Jackson, you won't face the same. You'll face Zach Moss. You'll face JT, who they said that they ramped him up in practice. So you're gonna see more JT come Sunday, and you know what he do against Jacksonville. He rushed for 250. He might have 150.
Yeah, but now we have the elite run stopper, Trayvon Walker.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Why are you like this? Why
this run pressure rate is so high.
Run pressure.
And I think your guy Devin Lloyd. I think he's. I'm not sure he's going to be questionable or not. I think is he playing Devin Lloyd?
Devin Lloyd is questionable. I think.
So he had a thumb and something, in the surgery. I don't know. He's still questionable. So I don't know how quickly he's going to recover from that.
He was hanging out with Urban. That's why his thumb hurt.
Yeah.
We're going to stop the run and establish the run. You guys, historically in our division can't stop the run. Everybody can run on y'all in our division. I mean, it's not going to stop this week. So we're going to keep running. You're not facing a Bills team that don't have no running game. You're facing a Colts team. So
that only has a running game.
Huh?
That only has a running game.
Nuh-uh.
And I like our chances, man.
That's not true that much. Okay. What about you, Austin?
Yeah, on offense, I feel like we have to establish the run, like Josh and Harish both said, because we did not have that week one. Our offensive line is getting healthier. Braden Smith is out this week, but other than that, we have everybody else playing. And then on defense, just getting pressure on Trevor, maybe forcing him to make a few bad throws. Because if he has time, I mean, obviously he's a good quarterback. And he has good weapons, so we have to get pressure. And I feel like if we do those two things, we could win this game.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. That was nice.
Get the crowd out of the game. Get the crowd out of the game, because when you guys get going in that stadium, it's pretty much a wrap.
Yeah, well, you know what? Tomorrow, I think weather-wise, it's not supposed to be the normal, absolutely intolerable Jacksonville day, unless I'm wrong. So
yeah, it's felt pretty nice out down here.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah.
Are you guys going to the game? Either of you?
Oh no, I'm not.
No.
Yeah. I went to the Texans one, whatever, and I was like,
You know,
maybe
that one.
maybe I'm bad luck or
75
something
tomorrow.
like
It's going to be what?
75 and sunny tomorrow.
Oh, dang. That's beautiful.
That sounds wonderful.
Close by 30. Close by 30.
Oh, my God.
We're going to be running the whole time. How do you get 30?
I think if you look at the last two Colts-Jags games in Jacksonville, the start of this game is going to be important for the Colts because they get behind early. I mean, we don't have a potato head for a coach anymore, so that's good. So I think Shane's going to have this team ready. I mean, I think the one thing that's impressed me about the Colts this year, regardless of the record, is that this team just doesn't – they feel prepared. Even that first game, it felt like they came out. They didn't come out flat. The Rams game was an anomaly, I think. But of the 5 games we've seen, this team has come out – they've come out pretty well. So I think the start of this game is going to really set the tone for what type of game it is.
What's the other historic record? The one where the Colts go to Jacksonville and what historically happens. What about that one?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The one where y'all lose.
As a record?
Well, you know what? Records honestly
records are meant to be broken.
Meant to be broken. And we've seen a lot
Streaks
of
are
those.
meant to end.
We've seen a lot of those records broken this year.
We did it last week. So
okay.
We did break another record last week. And also, you know what? Gardner Minshew's coming home, baby. This is a homecoming for him. So he might go out for 404 touchdowns. We just don't know yet.
How are you going to throw for 400 yards with a noodle arm?
Yeah, dude, I remember trusting.
A screen pass sucks to death.
What noodle arm do you need in order to throw 5 yards?
Listen, all it takes is Michael Pittman running back 60-yard screen passes on you guys.
Run forward 60.
Like that's all that needs to be.
Oh my God, I forgot that happened, dude.
I
forgot that happened.
But in all seriousness, like I said, the offense itself, I think, is going to be very key. I think they're going to just spend a lot of time just making sure that they're just like really just putting together those concepts where they're running the ball. It's not going to be kind of like the vanilla run that we're used to. And I mean, like I said, week 1 was it was bland because of the fact that it's just like Zach Moss wasn't there. JT, of course, was out as well. So I think now it's just like now that they kind of have those 2 guys in there, you're going to see more of that probably smash mouth run offense that they were looking to do, but couldn't do with guys like Evan Hull, Deion Jackson, and Jake Funk. So, and I think defensively, you guys yards on us. That's fine, but that's still not going to stop us from sacking Trevor Lawrence 4 times. So I mean that's and I think we all kind of figure like that would be the case. It's just like, yeah, he's gonna get those yards, but for every 100 yards, there's gonna be another sack that he's gonna have to take. So
I have a question.
Okay with that.
I have a question for Colts fans. Where would y'all rank these 2 quarterbacks, Matt Ryan and Gardner Minshew?
Gardner Minshew. Wait, in the league?
Yeah, just
or are we talking Matt
like,
Ryan Colts? Like Colts Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Colts Matt Ryan ranks very, very low.
Yeah, I would take anybody.
Colts Matt Ryan is like right below Patriots Cam Newton, but right above Bills Nathan Peterman. So yeah, it's like it was.
That's actually pretty solid. That's a good comparison.
But in all seriousness, like Colts Matt Ryan never stood a chance because he had Frank Reich as his coach. Frank Reich was drawing up analytics-based offensive plays where everything was going to be running straight up the middle or just throwing out whatever BS passes he decided to do. And that was a very, very big thing. Now, Colts Gardner Minshew, I like a little bit better because of the fact that Colts Gardner Minshew isn't somebody that you're going to automatically expect to throw for 400 yards. But if you do need a conversion when you're not able to necessarily get those chunk yards that you're getting in the run game, he'll be able to securely make sure that he's getting the ball to somebody who's going to go ahead and do dividends. I mean, he hasn't came into any games this season and really lost those games for us when he's had to. But like I said, this is a whole new offense because now you have Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, who I think was the intended focal point of the offense from the very beginning. So, yeah, it's.
If you got Colts Anthony Richardson, we would have been dropping dimes to Josh Downs all game. But y'all got that.
Yeah.
If Gardner Minshew throws for 400 yards, I will shave my beard into the handlebar mustache.
All right, let's make a bet. Let's shake on it. Let's shake on it.
That's a virtual shake. Virtual shake. It's like Ammo. You seem like a cool dude, but
he's keeping his beard.
I'm gonna have a beard on Monday, so I don't know why it's a conversation. Gardner Minshew, if he ever threw for 400 yards, you're gonna go get up and turn the Xbox off because that dude can't do it in real life.
First off, I've played with Gardner Minshew on Madden, and I couldn't even pass it 400. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, what's his overall? Has to be good now. Like even after he's came in and had the games won that he's had, he's a smooth 69, which is right on par for Gardner Minshew as a person. It's just like, yes, keep him at a 69 forever because he's Gardner Minshew. Fantastic, guys.
Mm-hmm.
If Minshew gets like 250 and a couple touchdowns and a pick, I think it's a success.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, fair. But with that being said, does anyone, and I'm talking about out of Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor, run for over 100 tomorrow?
They both
do. I think they both do.
He said both of them.
Whoa.
Yeah. No,
Combined, they both go over 100.
Just like Fred Taylor and Maurice did.
Here's
just
the
like
thing.
Fred Taylor and Maurice did.
I think they run the ball enough to where it's possible, and both of them will break a couple.
Are they going to be holding the ball at the same time?
Maybe.
So,
we don't know Shane Steichen.
I just want it to be clear that the team only giving up 80 yards per game is going to give up over 200.
I mean, hey, that's the Titans.
Hey, when you run the ball 35 times, you're going to get a lot of yards.
The Titans gave up 200 last week. That's the Titans.
Hey, they were the best run defense in the league until they played last week
against a backup.
I'm just saying. Look, I think the Colts are going to run. I think they're going to run this ball a lot.
Well, yeah. So then with that being said, everybody, predictions, score, all that great stuff. What are we looking at?
Well, it's the same as Tuesday. I'm going 24-17 Colts.
Cody, what you got?
If I keep saying it enough, eventually it will be true. Jags by 50.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you didn't make it very clear because, you're not going to buy 50 Cent. So that's not going to be a thing. So, yeah, we'll continue to go with that. Austin, what you got?
27-24 Colts.
Harish, what you got?
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points at all. I think it's going to be 20-17 Colts.
Or homers, dude.
All right.
Listen, I'm trying to end this damn streak, okay? Leave me alone.
Ammo, what you got?
Nobody said Colts by 50. That's a homer.
I think he's trying to will it into existence. It's one of those just like that's one of his daily affirmations.
Yeah.
Like he's been saying it every week since week 1. So, he has to kind of like stand on that.
It's just love language for the
I'm
Jags.
in too deep. Man.
The Jags are failing to love him the way he wants to be loved, which is affirmation.
Exactly. This is a lot.
You're gonna make me cry.
It just means he's due for one. That's all.
I don't know when he'll be due.
I know I needed this therapy session.
Yeah, no, you do. All right. Emma, what you got?
You know what? All you guys are going to be homers, so I'm just going to say it's going to be 31-17, and you guys are going home crying.
Ooh, I like it.
Well, it wouldn't be any different from the last 9 years. So.
Very true.
You know what? I don't honestly. This is strange. This game feels strange. So you know what? I'm gonna be an outlier. You know what? I'm gonna be that guy. This motherfucker's gonna end in a tie.
Oh, no.
This motherfucker's gonna end in a tie. It's gonna be 28-28.
See,
It's gonna be
Yes,
28.
you deserve to drink some mayo right now.
You deserve to go on mute for saying
I
that.
can't drink mayo. I'm black. I don't. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. It's just like I'm in my late 30s. Okay, if I told my mom that I drink mayo, it's just like at her age right now, she probably would me. It's just like that's listen, me eating mayo by itself. That's not a move that my ancestors would allow me to get away with. I would
mix it with a Coke then, or mix it with a Dr. Pepper. You should be good.
How about you do that, and you tell Tiff that you're going to do that, and see if she don't whoop that ass. Go ahead, I dare you. I double dare you. Yeah.
Sleeping on the couch that night.
Yeah, listen. First off, sleeping on the couch. that's an automatic kick out. Just be like, yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. I don't know what's gotten into you, but you gotta.
I think you need some time by yourself.
You need to leave. Yeah. Like, yeah, Harish, tell Sam that you're gonna eat mayo. I bet you she gonna sit there. She gonna look at you with this face. She gonna just like that.
Ariel would not. No.
She's gonna think you've been possessed.
Yeah, I ain't gonna fly here,
bro. If this game isn't a tie, I'm gonna need a new TV.
But you take a video. What if y'all lost?
But you know what?
This need a new TV.
No, because then it's on par. So
dying is worse.
Jags fans.
Yeah,
so the thing about Jags fans, and I think you guys can attest to this. The thing about Jags fans is that I said it before, and then I think Josh agreed with me. It was like Jags fans have this it's either almost extremely feral optimism or soul crushing pessimism when it comes to the Jags team. There's no in between. Okay. It's just that's just what it is. And I think that was just and the fact that you two just kind of sat there just okay. It's just like you both understand. It's just they're if they lose, they're just well, it's on par. It's where we are. We're the fucking Jags.
Oh, I mean,
it's just the history.
If you scrolled through Twitter after the Jaguars' losses, you would have thought that this team was 0-5 and was losing games the way that the Broncos are losing games. So
yeah,
no.
It's kind of the same for us though. When we lost, I think when we lost to the Rams, it was it would say all kind of stuff, man. You was in the chat, yeah. I don't want to talk about that.
I made a Jags Twitter post determinator for our panic. So was it called a Jags Twitter panic meter, right? And it was based off of the terror alert one. And we hit threat level orange, which was talking about firing people after the Texans lost. So yeah, that was nuts. and blue, whatever on that side is because the daily thing, even if we win, people are still mentioning Aiden Hutchinson, Brian Branch, bro, go be a Lions fan. You know you could do that anyway.
Yeah,
so, it's a daily thing. I like to keep up with, but yeah, man, we've been exactly how you said it. Yeah, we are extremely optimistic. And then usually when these losses happens, we're finding the nearest bridge. I will jump. Oh my God.
Let's be they can't keep doing this to me. It's they can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
What else do I need to do for them?
Stop. He's already dead. No, that was. But you know what? It's just that's what I can kind of respect about Jags fans to a certain extent, because, like I said, that when that feral optimism kicks in, it's I mean, it's and sometimes you guys they fall for certain things. Sam went and she thought she had a gotcha moment, and I told her to find 100 something, Jags fans that would be able to attest to a certain thing, and then, once I got that amount of fans, because that amount of fans actually did respond. And I was just good. Now I have one fan for each of the health code violations you got from having that rat infestation. and she was just well, you shut up. Like it's just like, yeah, okay, you still love Jalen Ramsey. We get it. Like it's just, whatever. So yeah, that's
just end the show abruptly.
Exactly. It's just like, yeah, we're over. Yeah. But no. So like I said, we're pretty much, I think, like I said, by numbers, not everybody, but most of the panel believes the Colts win. Of course, Jags fans believe Jags are gonna win, and I'm just gonna be the guy that says it's a tie. Because if we tie tomorrow, all hell will break loose.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, that is going to be just absolute insanity.
Well, I mean, not for me, because as long as the Titans at the bottom, I don't give a shit.
Facts.
That's fair. That's fair.
Big facts.
I think we're all in accordance with. It's just like the Titans suffering is more than satisfying enough for everyone.
I mean, they can win. I mean, no matter if they win or lose, they still at the bottom, so it don't matter.
This is true.
So I don't care.
This is true.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. All right. So with that being said, guys, it's been a good one. It's been a good one. I like this. I like this format. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we're gonna get up out of here. But need everybody to go ahead and tell us where to find you on social media. And we'll start with Ammo, and we'll work our way counterclockwise back to Josh, then Austin, then Cody, and Harish.
Well, you can catch me Monday nights on the AFC South show, talking about the division-leading Jacksonville Jaguars. You can catch me sometimes on Fridays with Jaguars Fan Battle, talking trash to whatever shitty opponent we play that week. And you can find me on Twitter at AmmoJags.
All right. What about you, Josh?
Well, I want to start out that, on Monday, I won't be on the episode, but I will see Ammo shaving off his beard when Gardner goes 300. 400. They took a 400, so I will get to see that. And actually, we're gonna win as well too. So you'll see me on Mondays on the Fan Battle podcast. This is on Tuesdays at 9:30 Eastern Time on the Horseshoe Mob, and Fridays or Saturdays we're talking shit about some bum ass team where they crying about us winning and they got injuries.
Fair. Austin
or jet lag.
jet lag. Yes, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2.
All right. What about you, Cody?
All right, at Cody Cole Gaming and at Jack's Fan Battle on Twitter. Bills fans, get the fuck out of my mentions, dude. This was a week ago. Quit crying. Holy shit.
Oh, man.
It's still there, huh?
Yeah. And you can find us on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Yeah, that's it.
All right. And what about you, Harish?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the Uncle Gandhi. I'm also on the Horseshoe Mob Tuesday nights with these guys, 8:30 p.m. Central. Also on the AFC South Fan Battle podcast. See you guys Monday when the streak is over, 8:30 p.m. Central. And then you can find me Thursday nights on the Texas Longhorn Fan Battle podcast. Follow us on Twitter at LH Fan Battle. We are close to 150 followers.
Nice. All right.
This would be cool.
All right. And you can find me at CJ Colts Fan on Twitter because we don't call it X. And also, of course, make sure that you are subscribing to the Horseshoe Mob podcast and also the Horseshoe Mob on YouTube. And so with that being said, guys, like I said, it's been fun. Glad we got to do this. It's going to be crazy when we end up in a tie tomorrow. But so other than that, have a great night, everybody. Have a great football Sunday. And as always, please remember that Sam loves Jalen Ramsey.